The Chanel 19 bag has been the bag that Chanel lovers have not stopped talking about the last year. And since I've now had my two Chanel 19 bags in the small and the large for around a year now, I thought I would give you an update. Do I regret buying the Chanel 19? Hey everyone, welcome back to all my beautiful subscribers. If you are new here and love designer bags and luxury in general, then welcome to the family. Make sure you join us by hitting the subscribe button and the bell down below. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a tiny bit of background information on how and when I originally got these bags, where I got them from, how much they cost. Then I'll go through the pros and cons that I've found with them so far, and at the end of the video I'll reveal my final thoughts. Do I regret buying the Chanel 19 bag? Do I think it's a good investment? I'll go through all of that in this video today, so if you've got a Chanel 19 bag or if you're considering getting one, this video is for you. So a little bit of background about the 19, how I acquired these, what made me take the plunge. So when these bags first came out, I believe that was around 2 years ago now, totally honest, I did not pay it much attention at all. I don't think the bag was so popular then, like the early colorways and like fabric combinations, I just didn't really see them. And I think when you see a bag more, you kind of imagine it in your own life, what you would wear it with, how you would wear it. So over that year, I started to see them crop up, but I had I was definitely not going to go and buy one. At that moment in time, I was probably more invested in Louis Vuitton. I was just kind of starting to buy my first Chanel bags. They are incredibly expensive, so for me it's been, you know, building up to that. So when these first came out, I didn't love this enough to buy it. It wasn't until the 21P, I believe I've got that right, the 21P collection, that everything changed for me with the 19 bag. They brought out this black tweed, which is like the bobbly kind of tweed. I actually really wanted the 19 in the shearling originally, the black shearling, mainly because of what I'd seen on Instagram. I thought that was really nice. They no longer had that one, so I asked my SA down in London about the tweed. And this was the first time that I'd seriously considered the bag. But at the very same time, in the same collection, the caramel colour came out, which, as you can see, I ended up buying one of them in the leather. I spent, oh my gosh, so long on YouTube because these bags were still quite new. I was watching every single review that I could. I was like, which size do I get? You know, which fabric do I want? Blah, blah, blah. What colours? Because you can get them in so many colours. My Caramel 19, this is in the small size with the mixed hardware. They all come with mixed hardware. And then this is my large tweed. So you can see it's like a kind of bobbly effect. Like it looks textured, which I quite like. And that is why I wanted this particular tweed, because like I said, originally I wanted the shearling. They didn't have that anymore, and I was like, actually this kind of looks a bit similar. Like it doesn't look like a furry bag, but it does look like textured and warm, and that was kind of what I was looking for. So as I was having conversations with my SA in London about this one, eventually they got back to me after, you know, a few tries. They had the large and the small size. I was like, absolutely the small size, that is the one that I want. I don't want the large. Anyway, I've got the large. I'm going to tell you why. This one came up on Facebook, totally random. Someone was sending it back, and we've since been to Bicester Village shopping together. Hi Suki, she sold me this because she was going to send it back to Harrods, and I said, oh my gosh, please sell it to me before you send it back. So I picked this up from her, and then I was like still in conversations about this one, and I was like, wait a minute, do I want two 19 bags of the same size? The answer to that was no, and actually when I saw pictures, I preferred the tweed in the large, but I prefer leather in small. A lot of research went into these two. Prior to buying both these bags, I had never seen one in person. I had never tried one on. I just did so much research that I felt fairly comfortable making the purchase. But now I can share with you some of the pros and cons that I found with it so far. And like I said at the end of the video, whether I regret making these purchases or not. So how did I make the decision to take the plunge with two 19 bags before I ever saw them? For me, I don't know what it is, but I know there's a lot of people out there that love the Chanel Classic flat bag, and I do think it's a really beautiful bag. Personally, I prefer the vintage versions of the Classic flat, but I kind of wanted something a little bit more edgy. So overall as a brand like Chanel, it's kind of, I don't know, really well put together, feminine, but I quite like the boy bag. So I have 2 Chanel boy bags, and the reason that I got my boy bags before the 19s, the reason that I like the boy is because it's quite edgy, and the classic flap, even though I love them, I've just never felt the need to go and buy one. So when the 19 came out and I started to see them more and more, I decided to take the plunge. By the way, these are my 2 most expensive designer bags. Like, I don't think I've spent more, because I bought them both at retail price. Even though I purchased this, she was going to send it back and get the money back, so I paid retail for both my bags. I normally don't pay retail for my bags. When it comes to Louis Vuitton, you know, I like to buy pre-loved, and Chanel most of the time. I am very thorough. I get them authenticated. I do loads and loads of research on them, so I feel comfortable buying pre-loved. So for me, even buying retail was a new experience. Well, not a new experience, I have bought bags at retail before, but to buy 2 so quickly and, you know, for them to be this expensive was a huge decision. The thing that helped me make it, again, is because I like the edgy looking Chanel bags, and I feel like this is one of the edgiest looking bags that Chanel has brought out. So the pros and cons after having these bags for a minute now. The pros, okay, lots of pros. It looks great. The mixed hardware, you don't have a choice. You get the brush gold, the gunmetal silver there, and then you get the like shinier gold. So that's great, because it doesn't matter what colour jewellery you're wearing, what your outfit is. Like, normally you would pick a bag with gold hardware if you're wearing, you know, something with gold in it, or your necklaces are gold. You try not to, I don't know, I do anyway. If I'm wearing silver, I'll try and wear silver hardware. So for me, one of the pro points of this bag is that I don't care what jewellery I'm wearing. They just go so well with so many different things. Some people don't like the mixed hardware, but honestly, I think it's actually one of the best points about the bag. Another pro is that it's one of the easiest bags to use. I've talked about this if you watch my other videos, but you just turn the lock on the front, actually one of the easiest openings of a Chanel bag, and you just straight into the bag. You can see everything, you can get to everything. You're not, you know, rummaging around in the bottom of it. You've got your zip compartment on the back. This is honestly one of the easiest designer bags out of all my bags, not just Chanel, but one of the easiest bags to use. I really like the turn lock. It feels really sturdy, doesn't feel like it's going to like break, it doesn't feel fragile, but you know, it's a lot easier to get into than the boy bag, for example. And just continuing on that theme of them being really easy to use, you have the huge pocket on the back, which I put my phone in here, which makes it just so much easier. You don't have to keep going into the bag to get your phone. And the fact that they've made this pocket full width to the bag means you can actually fit more in there. Obviously the pocket is bigger on the larger size, but I can still get my phone in the small size comfortably as well. The cons that I have found with the 19 bag, okay, I'm going to go through these as quickly as I can. My biggest bugbear with this bag is how heavy they are. This has got, I've got this stuffed right now with tissue paper. Tissue paper is not very heavy. I've also got a bag liner in here, which definitely does add some weight. But, you know, I love the chunky chain, but it's very heavy. I mean, I wouldn't do anything to take the chains off. It's actually maybe a bit of a shame you can't remove the longer strap, so that's a con in itself. But, oh my gosh, like, I actually took this to me Bicester Village. I did a vlog if you want to go shopping with me there. I was carrying this around all day, crossbody. I don't know why I took the large, but I think it actually went a bit better with my outfit, and it was raining, so I'm glad that I had the tweed, not the leather. By the end of the day, my body was hurting. I mean, I was out all day, to be fair. Most bags hurt me after, you know, spending all day out with them. But yeah, this one was quite significant, just the weight of the bag. I don't know the exact weight, but I can just tell you they're quite heavy. Yeah, they're just definitely not lightweight. Obviously the smaller one is lighter because it's smaller. There's definitely like a weight difference, like this one is heavier, the larger size, but both of them are not, I think after carrying this one for a whole day, if I was out for a whole day again, I don't actually know whether I'd take the 19 bags out, because it does just hurt my shoulder a lot. Another con, but this is more specific to this bag, this one only came in a lambskin leather, and to be honest, a lot of people say lambskin can be really durable, and I know it can be, especially on some of the vintage bags, and there's technically nothing wrong with this leather, but I mean, I've hardly used this bag and I get so paranoid about it. I am going to treat it, make sure it's waterproofed, but like I said, I took my tweed out because if it's going to rain, I don't want this leather to be getting wet, which that's probably more a thing for me, but I don't know. I just think when you spend so much on a bag, I just treat them so preciously that the thought of them getting wet and whatever. I've also, if you don't store this bag properly, like for example, if you leave it laying on the chain like this, it indents into the leather. Now, it's not so much of a problem because if you gently rub the leather with the oils on your hands, make sure you've not got any creams or anything, or sanitizer on your hands, do not do that. But when it's just the natural oil and heat from your hands, you can just gently rub scratches and dints out of the leather, the lambskin leather. So, you know, I definitely have had some dints in here where I've not stored it so well, and now I just make sure that I've got the whole thing. All of this is just completely wrapped in tissue when it's stored away, and I'll make sure that this is well out of the way so the bag isn't leaning on it. But yeah, that is definitely another thing about the lambskin, possibly with the goat skin as well. If you are a bit precious about your bags like I am, I want them to stay like looking new for as long as possible. Yeah, sometimes I get a bit stressed when I see like dints in the bag and I'm like, oh my gosh, are they going to come out? They do. Mostly, but you know, they are bags, they are going to show signs of wear. But yeah, for me, it's a bit of a stress point with this one. In summary, for the pros and cons, overall a fantastic bag, really easy to use. But I think the main learning for me after having these for a little while now is that I wouldn't choose to wear them for hours and hours and hours, like a whole day out, unless I knew that I was able to put them down somewhere. I probably wouldn't take the large out as a shopping bag again either, but I do really like it. I would take it out if I was going somewhere and putting my bag down, as opposed to having to carry it around with me all day. Do I regret purchasing my 2 Chanel 19 bags then? Regret, I think, is a strong word. I don't really like to regret anything in life. I like to put research in and hopefully make the right decisions in the first place, but obviously, sometimes we will make a decision and then find that the bag or whatever it is doesn't work for us. So like I say, regret is a strong word. I don't regret purchasing my 19 bags. However, knowing what I know now, would I have 2 of them? I think I would. I feel like Chanel are doing an incredible job of bringing this bag out in all the most amazing colours, and like the new I think it's 21C grey, like a dark grey, so nice. Like they just look stunning. But I'll be honest, I feel like 2 is where I'm at. Maybe I'd add 1 more one day, but I think actually if I added another one, I'd just have to sell one of these. So yeah, I don't regret buying this bag. What I would say as well is I often buy my bags pre-loved. I paid retail for these, as I've mentioned, and now I'm starting to see like more of the bags come through where people have bought them, found they're not for them, or they want a different colourway, and then they're selling them off. They are still, a lot of them, near retail, but you can make a big saving. I've seen some go for maybe £500 to £1,000 less than what they retailed at. So I feel like for me, if I add any more to my collection, I will definitely have to get rid of one of these. But I will be looking more at the pre-loved market, because one of the cons about this bag, I didn't mention it in this video, but if you watch my review video, is that these bags are so expensive. This one cost me, I believe, 4,300, 4,400, something like that. For this one, my leather one cost very much the same, £4,300. You know, that's nearly 9,000, like £8,500 on 2 bags. Just to summarize that a little bit better, no, I don't regret my Chanel 19 bags. I really do enjoy using them. They are super easy to use. Will I be adding any more to my collection? No, I will not, unless I sell one of these. A small, a large, I don't feel the need to have any more. I don't want to be excessive with them because they are heavy bags. I don't gravitate towards them the most, but when I do use them, they feel incredibly special. So no regrets, but no plans to add any more to my collection. Do you have a 19 bag, or are you considering getting one? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope either way that this video has been helpful to share my views on how I've found them so far. I can't really give a wear and tear update. I know some people will be looking for that, but I've just not used them enough. Like, there's nothing wrong with them. The corners haven't worn, nothing's snapped, nothing's broken. So to show you them, because I've only used them a handful of times each max, there's nothing to show you in terms of wear and tear. So I will do that video in the future. Now, make sure you don't go anywhere, because coming up next, I'm going to be linking 2 of my latest video releases here for you. Enjoy.